Let's take a look at gas prices. Simply put, they're going up and are expected to keep going that way for the rest of the year. Great, huh? Jeff Flock in Chicago with more on this story. Jeff.
Ashley, good morning to you. If it looks cold, well, it is. But it's not having a chilling effect on gas prices. I'm at the most expensive gas in Chicago. It's a BP station in the Gold Coast, as they call it. $3.49 a gallon. That's about $1 more than the national average right now, which is $2.52. It was $2.35 a year ago. That's a 7% increase. And curiously enough, that has not kept pace with the increase in oil prices, and we're hoping that continues. Oil price right now pretty flat today, but of course, if you look at the 3-month, it has been nothing but a steady increase in oil prices. Here's the interesting thing that I think we're finding now. This is my headline. Prices, according to the folks at Gas Buddy, have really been very disparate in similar markets. You know, it used to be there was a lot of competition. People would keep their prices low if their competitor did. Not so much now. In Chicago, for example, $3.49, you can also get it at $2.49, $1 cheaper. According to Pat DeHaan at Gas Buddy, it's become nothing short of crazy. I've heard
prices are constantly changing, but probably wonders why. Well, to understand the price of gasoline and where that money goes, you need to know a little something about global demand, geography, and Slurpees. The biggest chunk of your change goes to the people actually producing the oil. That's about 71 cents for each dollar you spend. But it's the traders, not the producers, who set the actual price of the barrel using global supply and demand. Now come the refiners. They took the crude oil, turned it into gasoline, diesel, and other stuff like jet fuel and asphalt. They take about 6 cents of every dollar for gasoline. They get about 11 cents for diesel because even though it costs the same to make, demand is higher. Another factor impacting the cost of gas is how far away the pump is from the refinery. If you're lucky enough to live next to an oil refinery in New Jersey, you'll pay a lot less than if you live in Idaho, where they don't have any oil refineries at all. Transporting oil and gas comes with a price tag too. Another wild card is taxes. Drivers in Alaska pay just 8 cents a gallon. In New York State, you'll owe the tax man 50.6 cents for every gallon you buy. For all those costs, retailers typically come away with just a few pennies per gallon. In fact, some gas stations even lose money on gas in the hope that more people will pull up and buy something else. After all, the margins on Slurpees are much higher.
This vary. The first reason is location. Gas prices can change due to the location of the store. Although stores are across the street, they can still vary by up to $1. Little factors such as which station is closer to the freeway exit or entrance can play a big factor on the price of gas. A second reason is refining cost. Different gasoline formulations required in different parts of the country yield different prices, and the refining process itself produces different costs over the course of a year. The third reason is by state. Retail gasoline prices tend to be higher the farther it is sold from the source of the supply, such as ports, refineries, and pipeline and blending terminals. About 62% of the crude oil processed by the U.S. refineries in 2010 was imported, with most transported by ocean tankers.
Fourth reason is brand name. Companies such as Chevron will charge a higher price due to the formula they use in the production of their gas. Although the gas is not much different itself, companies do a great job branding, such as Chevron does with Techron. The fifth reason and the last one is OPEC, production. Because OPEC is such a huge player in the energy market, their decision on capacity can move gas prices.
So first let's draw our typical supply and demand graph, where we have Q, quantity of oil, P, the price of oil, downward sloping demand curve, and our upward sloping supply curve. So the first reason why people are complaining the oil is really expensive is because of OPEC. OPEC is limiting production. They're not producing to their full capacity. Prices are higher because they aren't putting as many goods on the market as they're able to. How this would show up in our graph is a leftward shift in supply. So this alone would result in higher prices. You can see the price level going up and the quantity, the equilibrium quantity, going down. But in addition to this potential problem, you could also have speculators in the market. So people argue that speculators are entering the market, buying up oil shares even though they have no intent on using oil. So by having more buyers in the system, that's going to shift demand right. So now we have this leftward shift in supply and this rightward shift in demand. So we see equilibrium price go up yet again. But also what's happening in the world today is developing countries such as Brazil, India, and especially China are buying a lot more oil than they used to in the past. So that would be another rightward shift in demand, possibly because of higher incomes in developing countries. They can purchase more oil. Or you could argue that these countries never purchased oil before, so now there are more buyers in the market. Again, this will result in an increase in price. So while our original price was here, our final price after these mechanisms in the market will be a lot higher.